So it actually took the grace of God to bring me out of the effects of those local herbs. And I'm so thankful. Another incident. A friend of mine came over and started talking to me about her new pastor, sorry. A very popular guy then. The guy is still popular now, but I never knew about him then. But she talked so much about him. And she said, why not just go and, meet this guy? Let's just follow me to that ministry one of these days. You will see the wonders of God. Brothers and sisters, I said, okay. I scheduled an appointment to go with her the next week. They normally have their programs. I don't know if it's on Wednesdays or Thursdays every week. So I went with her. Not her really, she was not around that day. So I went with her husband. We got there, prayer topics were raised. I prayed my prayer to my God. And then a woman, after the prayers, a woman came to me and said, an elderly woman actually, and said, while I was praying, that the Spirit of God opened her eyes and she saw my prayer points, that I made 5 requests to God, that God said he was going to answer only 3, that the other 2, he would not answer them. In my mind, I was like, God forbid, who are you to tell me how many? And for real, guys, I actually made 5 prayer points to God, okay, during that prayer session. But in my mind, I was like, no, you are not God. You cannot tell me how many prayers of mine that God will answer and the ones he will not answer. He is my Father and he will answer my prayers. This was in my mind, but I was just looking at the woman like, who is this one? So after the program for that day, my friend's husband came and, introduced me to the pastor in charge. I went to meet with the pastor. As we were talking, the pastor said, like one-on-one counseling, he was asking me, do you have a boyfriend? I was looking at him like, it was strange. I said, boyfriend as how? I don't understand. I said, I don't understand. He said, okay, because as you're sitting down here spiritually, I am seeing another man beside you. I said, I don't know whichever man you are seeing, but I am a married woman. So any man you're seeing beside me is supposed to be my husband and no one else. He said, no, you don't understand. It's not your husband that I'm seeing. It's actually another man. And this man is your spiritual husband. You have a spiritual husband. That is why you have not been able to conceive. You need to do prayers. You need to do 2 weeks fasting and prayers. And then he followed with it again but I know that you cannot do it. Me, that has always been a church girl. You're telling me I cannot do 2 weeks fasting and prayers. What is fasting? What is 2 weeks fasting and prayer that I cannot do? When I can go for 1 month, I can do 1 month fasting and prayer. Somebody is telling me I have to do 2 weeks fasting and prayers, and he knows that I cannot do it. And then he now said that I will have to pay some money. I needed to pay him some money so that he will now do the fasting and prayers for me. In my mind, I was like, oh, this one is not serious. You will do fasting and prayer for me. I will pay you money. I said, okay. Everything he said, I nodded in agreement. Okay, it's fine. So when are you going to come back to bring the money? I said, don't worry. When I go, maybe in 2 days' time, I will come back and bring the money. So that was how I left with my friend's husband. When I got home, I was telling my husband, look at what happened, where I went to and all of that. Husband was like, you have to stop all this. You don't have any problem. God is going to give us our own children at the right time. So please stop already before you bring more problems on yourself and us. I said, okay. My brothers and sisters, you won't believe what happened. That place that I stepped my feet into, is evil. You see that ministry? It's very popular till today. I'm telling you, it's very popular till today. I'm not going to mention their name, but that place is evil. Now, these people are into some kind of fetish spirituality, they are mind readers. Yes, the woman there that I met was able to read my mind and saw that I actually tendered 5 prayer points to God. And then, as I left that place, because I had an unfinished business with them, they followed me spiritually. They followed me to my home. That night, hey, thank God I am somebody who is also spiritually sensitive. The kind of thing that happened to me that night. Now, because these guys came and they were trying to prove to me that I actually have a spiritual husband so that I will bring the money for the prayers. I was sleeping in the night with my husband beside me. Like sometimes when you're even in your deep sleep, you begin to, get conscious, kind of somewhere semi-conscious, let me say, put it that way, semi-conscious at some point, even in your deep sleep. So I turned around and instead of seeing my husband beside me, I was seeing a chicken, like a fowl, I turned. What is this? What am I seeing on my bed? I turned around again. Oh, the fowl was standing. The first time it was lying down. Second time it was standing. I turned again. I saw a snake. Oh Jesus, what have I put myself into? I knew that they have followed me. And I woke up angry in my spirit that night. And I began to untangle myself. I began to disengage myself. I began to break whatever agreement that I have entered into with these people unknowingly. It was a battle that night. I prayed. I asked God for mercy. Forgive me for going in there in the first place. But there has to be a disentanglement. And it was settled that night. I never got to hear from that my friend again. She didn't even call to ask me, how did it go? I don't know if she went to discuss my issues with the pastor Abenissio, okay? I don't know. I can't really say what happened, but after that night, she never called again. The next time she called me, I was already pregnant.